only guarantee you have as a human being is that you are going to die.
Who's ready to fucking win?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, this is the Mac Will One, and this is the IMF. That's right, the IMF, which is the Iconic Movies and Films. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I'm doing an actual review here from the incredible city of Chicago, Illinois. That's right, your boy is in Chicago, Chi-Town in the house. And I'm going to be doing a review today of this really incredible and profound movie, The Long Walk. Now, the reason why I say that is this review is going to be a little bit different than some of the other reviews I've done in the past. I'm just going to forewarn you right now, this will be a somewhat of a political review. And the reason being is I'm here in the Chi, and any minute now, according to our president, there may be military soldiers employed into the streets of Chicago. That's right, this may become a military zone, because of all the crime, the black crime that's ravishing apparently America. Now, the reason why I actually start this review this way is because I think this movie, The Long Walk, touches on a lot of themes which ironically point to the very sort of condition that our country is in at this moment. This movie is very profound in the sense that it's a story of a group of young individuals, men who are all competing in this contest called the Long Walk, where the contestants must walk an unlimited amount of time until ultimately there's only one person remaining. Now, the reason why this is such a profound film is that everyone involved in the race ultimately will die. Spoiler alert.
The only guarantee you have as a human being is that you are going to die.
They will die unless they're the first place finisher of this contest. And again, what makes this contest so unique is that they just keep walking until there's only one person left. Now, that's a basic synopsis, but where this really becomes unique is that while they are participating in this contest, there's ever-present danger looming. There's literally military. There's tanks in the street with armed soldiers that are on standby to literally kill any and everyone who does not complete and finish the race. Now, while they're participating in the race, they must maintain at least 3 miles per hour as they're walking, and you cannot stop.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm proud of you, boys. You got fat. Yeah! Maintain a speed of 3 miles per hour. Walk until there's only one of you left. Who's ready to fucking win?
This film is definitely a thriller, and in many ways, it's definitely a horror. This is sort of set in a dystopian sort of future. However, it also has sort of like a throwback to the past. And apparently, this is post-Civil War. Now, not the Civil War that was fought, between the succession of the Union and slavery and all of that stuff. No, this is a futuristic Civil War, and this is after that has occurred. Now, I know a lot of folks have focused on the graphic nature and some of the brutality of the film, and trust me, this film is brutal. When I say brutal, the first time you see someone actually get executed, it will knock you back, just because of how graphic they show the murder. And again, I do not believe that was by any way by accident. I think everything in this film is very deliberate, and I think it's done for the specific reason to have that bombastic sort of impact. Now, as I said before, you have a number of people who all commence on this race. Now, the person that's orchestrating this race is a character called the Boss, and this character is played by Mark Hamill. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first saw this film, I had no idea that was Mark Hamill. It wasn't until I got back and started looking at the credits till I realized that Luke Skywalker was the actual Boss character. I guess he is the sort of villain. Now, I don't think, again, that was by mistake, because this Boss character It's kind of like, in many ways, like the Emperor, or like, if for you Star Wars fans, who I used to be before, you know, it went off on the just really ridiculous tangents. But the boss character is sort of like an Emperor or a Sith. And if you remember Luke Skywalker's last film, before they did these ridiculous trilogy spin-offs, he was a Jedi Master. So again, I don't think that was done by accident. But he is the person who initiates the race. He is the person that kind of drives forward the action. And again, as all of these people are competing, they have to keep a pace of at least 3 miles per hour, and they cannot stop. So that means they must eat, they must drink, they must shit and piss while they're still walking. And in this film, they show all of that. When I say all of that, I mean all of that. You literally see people shitting on the streets, which again is a little off-putting and a little unsettling if you're not prepared to see that. But as I mentioned, this is a really multicultural cast. And again, I don't think that was by accident, especially given the DEI, white man superiority, white supremacy sort of world that apparently America is now. This is a direct contrast to that. And that's why I think it's so significant. But we have two primary leads in this film. Peter Mac Reeves is a character, and he's played by David Johnson. And again, he's a young black actor. Some people recognize him from some previous films. For me, this was the first time I saw him, but apparently he was in one of the Alien films. But he is one of the leads. The other lead is played by the actor Cooper Hoffman, and Cooper Hoffman plays Raymond Garrity. Now, they immediately become friends at the beginning of this walk, and those two, the white and the black actor, sort of create an allegiance that they call the Three Musketeers.
I sort of like you three. Let's be musketeers. All for one.
One for all.
No, and again, I need to hear it louder. All for one.
And one for all.
All of the characters in this film are very distinct. You also have a Native American character, you have a German character, you have Latino characters. I mean, literally you have every spectrum of different type of immigrant in this country, and they're all competing in this contest that we call the Long Walk. So as they begin to make their way, one by one, you start to see people fall off. You start to see people fight. You start to see people disagree. Some people get injured. And all the while, there's these tanks that are forever looming. So again, part of the genius of this film, in my opinion, is that it's continuous. There are no breaks. Once the film starts, you are literally watching these characters just walk, 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 walk. That's the entire drama of the film, and one by one they get clipped off. But during this walk, they exchange all of these various ideas and ideologies of why they're walking. You have a character that's a Christian who says, even though I'm a Christian and I know no person according to the Bible will be let into the gates of heaven, who's all about money and all about commercialism and all about capitalism. He says, I just still can't help myself. I have to have the money. I can't stop thinking about the money. You have another character who talks about the sacredness of the planet, the sacredness of the earth. Don't litter. The Asian character is constantly talking about littering and how we must protect the earth. And as they're doing this entire journey, they're literally walking through Americana. You're seeing old America. You're seeing new America. People are driving like really old vehicles. You see carcasses of dead animals. You see all of this, which again, I believe is way deeper than just the competition of them, symbolic of America and of the world that we live in. Now, I know I'm probably not alone in this characterization, but I believe the whole term, the long walk, is a synonym for your life as you try to live and experience and progress through life. You go through obstacles. It's like a journey. Like there was a film that was done by Tarantino back in the 90s called Grindhouse. It was these Grindhouse films. And I always thought that basically when you live in America, you're caught in the mechanics of America and you're always being grinded out. Well, to me, that is what this is. The long walk is a synonym for the journey that we experience throughout the course of our lives. And because of the way the contest of this actual walk is set up, You must keep a pace, meaning you must go 3 miles per hour. If you happen to fall behind 3 miles per hour, they give you 3 warnings, and on the 3rd warning, they shoot you dead. And when I say shoot you dead, I mean they shoot you dead. It's really, really, really graphic. And nobody cares if you have an injury. Nobody cares what your situation is. You just have to keep progressing and progressing and progressing. If you happen to stroll off of the path, just ever so slightly, they shoot you dead. If you happen to take, a dump or a piss and you stop, or there's a rock in your shoe and you take longer than the 10 seconds after the 3rd warning, they shoot you dead. It's like there is no excuse, there is no grace, there is no empathy. And again, only one person can win the race. And that person can only win the race once everyone else is dead. So again, it's really, really, really deep. And I think it's really, really masterfully done by, again, the director, again, Francis Lawrence. I'm gonna have to go back and look at a few more of his films because I was just totally blown away. Now, the reason why I said at the outset that this was going to be somewhat of a political review is if you think about the world we're in right now, if you think about the fact that you have civil liberties, that you have your humanity being questioned by this administration, when you think about everything that's happening in the world today, this film cannot be more timely. I swear to you, I was blown away, again, being here in the Chi and watching this, here with all of the imminent danger that is, you can feel, like you can literally feel the possibilities of what may be to come. And again, in this film, it's just monotonous, man. It just continues and continues and continues. And again, you will grow to love and hate some of these characters, but they're all so diverse. There's a Native American character, and again, I don't think it was by accident. He actually, spoiler alert, he doesn't make it to the end, but in his journey, he speaks about humanity, he speaks about spirituality. He actually kills one of the soldiers before he ultimately gets killed. And in doing so, he sets what I believe was some sort of Native American chant or some sort of spiritual blessing that he puts on the remaining people. Like I said, it's really, really deep, the depth of what this story is. So on one level, it is a race, that people are competing in. But then there's all of these symbolisms that are weaved and woven throughout this entire film. And I'm telling you right now, I was thoroughly blown away. I thought this was genius filmmaking. I really, really, really enjoyed this film. Now, another thing I mentioned is as they're actually walking, because they cannot stop, they literally have to shit on the ground as they're walking. They have to piss and shit. And I think that also is a reflection of how some people view the world. As long as I get what I want, I don't really care if I have to piss on my fellow citizen or my fellow man. I will just shit wherever it is, leave it for someone else to clean up, and just keep moving. I will piss, I will do whatever I want to do because it's only about me. The only person that matters in this equation is me. And again, in this race, that's literally what it is. Me, 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 me. We live in a society filled with people who think the only thing that matters is me and my survival. If I'm doing okay, hey man, I might wish that you do okay as well, but not at the expense of my success, not at the expense of my family. The only person that matters is me. And I think this is constantly reinforced through the nature of this contest, i.e. the long walk. So again, check this film out. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, it's a very quick film. It doesn't take a long time to get to the point, but again, it is incredibly graphic. And when I say shit, man, I mean, they show people literally shitting. Like what? And literally pissing. Like, so again, it's a hard take. Some people lose their minds. Some people go crazy. Some people have injuries. They break their foot. They just flip out, man. It's really, really, really an interesting take. You have some racism. You have like a German dude. You have everything in this film, man. It's really, really an amazing way it's constructed. And again, immigrants are everywhere. People that make up this country are everywhere. This is not a white onlys kind of thing. It's very, very diverse, which I know strikes to the heart and the fear of some of the people in this country as we speak today. So again, this movie is off the chain. Now, one of the points that I really do want to highlight is that there is no end game. Now, some of my friends and I have been talking about what's going on, particularly as it relates to civil rights in this country. And I always say, like, what is the end game? What is it that we ultimately are trying to achieve? Are we really trying to reach the I have a dream where black kids and white kids and red kids and everybody can all love each other? And is that really what we're going for? Because if that's the case, it seems like we are way off the path of achieving that. But in this film, it's kind of the same thing. What is the end goal other than your survival, other than trying to get money? What is the end game? And I'm not going to talk about the actual ending of the film, but again, they leave it sort of open-ended to your interpretation as to what some of that means. Like I said, there is ultimately going to be a winner, and that one person will then have to make a decision. But again, it's really, really a deep testament about where we are as a society. Like, what are we striving for? What is ultimately the goal? What is it that establishes you and gives you happiness? What is the purpose of your life? This movie questions all of that, and it does so in the most simplistic way imaginable. They're literally walking. And again, the point of this film, if you don't walk in a straight line and do what you're told and follow the rules, if you happen to go a little to the left or a little to the right, you can be gunned down and killed. And again, knowing how violent our society is, it's just effervescent. It is constant. Like I said, there is the irony about my stay here in Chicago, as I arrived here on September 10th. Now, when I arrived, I believe it was either the next day or the day before, Charlie Kirk, as I'm sure everybody knows, was killed. They say assassinated, but that dude was just shot. Assassinations are from Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy, etc. This dude was just shot. Let's kill it with the assassination crap. But anyway, he was killed, and immediately you had one side of this country calling for civil war. This is a civil war kind of instance. And again, given the fact that in The Long Walk, this is post a future civil war. It's mind-blowing how, what do they say, art imitates reality and reality imitates art. It's just crazy about the things that we're doing. And again, in this film, the multiculturalism of the cast, of the actual people that are in this journey of The Long Walk. It's just amazing, and it's amazing timing. And again, outstanding performances all the way around. I really, really enjoyed this film. Now, what is my rating? You know, a friend of mine told me that of all the films that I've rated this year, I have basically not given anything higher than Butter on Toast. So for those of you who don't know, the rating system goes again like this. 5 stars is what I call John Blaze, which means it's the hottest thing out. 4 stars means it's fire, which again is really, 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 like really good. The next is Butter on Toast, which again, who doesn't love butter on toast? I mean, come on now, are you kidding? Especially if you got like some jelly, awesome. Then it goes into some ass, and then finally, 1 star is some total effing BS. I think I've only given one movie that, and again, of course, that was Superman, but we won't go there again. But this film, I have to say, The Long Walk is definitely fire, fire, fire. I love this movie. This movie is 4.5, almost John Blaze. Like I said, I can't go John Blaze just yet, because if I say it's John Blaze, then that means it can't get no better. This film is definitely on the margin though. It is 4.5, it is definitely fire. I love this film. I love how timely it is. I think for those of you, who can stomach it, because I am going to tell you it is extremely graphic. There is a lot of graphic stuff in this film, but it makes you think. And again, given the time that we're in, I just don't think it could be more timely. Now, one of the things that I've always stressed is we like to try to do these film reviews as a bit of an escapism, because reality sometimes is just so hard. And I know it's really, really difficult, to think about entertainment when you have people literally being rounded up and thrown into cages, dehumanized, and then demonized on the news on a nightly basis. It's really hard, to enjoy life when that is what you're constantly surrounded by. And this film is not, let's just say, happy film. This is a definitely tough watch. But if you don't mind watching it and you don't mind me thinking about it, I'm telling you, this film For me right now, next to Sinners, these two are right there. One of the best films of the year, by far. I love this movie. So again, this is the IMF, which is the Iconic Movies and Films channel. I really appreciate you checking us out. Please hit the like, please share this, please subscribe, because we're looking to grow this channel and we can't do it without you. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Macro One. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Who's ready to fucking win?